dog to by our mailbox. Yeah.
The mics are on. Guys, the mics are on.
Mine wasn't on.
We're live.
Got it.
Okay. I'm going to call the meeting to order of the Park and Recreation, May 21st. Roll call.
Dunn present.
Lynn's present.
Marmion.
Olikoff present.
Davis present.
Okay. Adoption of the agenda.
I move we adopt the agenda as written.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Approval of the minutes of April 16th.
I move that we approve the minutes of April 16th.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have some citizen communications.
I got an email from Lori Liu. I don't think she minds if I say that. She just wanted to know if we could review any policies regarding securing bouncy houses to the ground when there's parties at the park, in light of a recent accident in New York where wind took up a bouncy house with children in it and injured them after it fell like 50 feet. Yeah. So she was just wondering if there was anything in place and if we would consider discussing that issue further.
Nancy, what are the rules now for bouncy houses?
We don't have any rules regarding security of the bounce house, which I believe is the issue here. Basically, what we tell them that they have to have a permit to have a bounce house in the park, and rent. What they do is they reserve a lawn area space. There's a fee attached to that, and you must do that in order to get a permit. And then the permit is included in that fee. We do address the leaky generators, or is that what they're called, generators? We ask that they put that in a secondary can. But that is the only rules that we currently have regarding jump houses.
Do they have to secure it at all?
We have not. That is not an issue at all in our policy.
Yeah. But they probably do in their own liability.
I would imagine that the jump house outfits, I don't know. But it's not in our rules or policies.
Okay.
Through the chair?
Yes.
I really think it should be in our rules. I think it should be in our rules that any bounce house that comes onto the property, the city property, that company has to have a rule about securing them, because I did see videos of this accident, and I know people in the area that it was in, and it was horrifying. And children got up as high as 50 feet and fell out of it, and it was just took off. So we do have windy days here, and I think rather than the city taking responsibility, we have a rule that the company, the bounce house people, have a regulation about putting them up and staking them. In fact, I think that the one that did go up was staked appropriately, and it was in somebody's private yard, and the neighborhood kids were in it.
Is this something you want to further discuss and put on a future agenda as an agenda item to discuss?
Well, the one thing I was just thinking, because, when people go and book their parties and they just tell you they're going to have a jumpy house, I mean, you have to make them aware that if you do have a jumpy house, this is one of our requirements that we're going to have to, because they'll have to seek that through.
Well, if they come to the proper channels, you're not supposed. It is right there posted as a rule. You can't have a jump house without having a permit.
Okay.
So we do have a number of rules in our permit. We have guidelines that they sign off on. We could add that some kind of verbiage if the commission decides to go ahead with that. So.
Okay.
We bring that back at next meeting.
Yeah. Sure.
Please. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Old business. New subcommittees list approved attached.
I don't have any problem with it.
Does anybody, anybody want to change anything, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I really feel like I'm torn between where I should say this, and but it's on our agenda, so I think I need to mention it here. I really feel like with the Sustainability Committee, that I'm probably a lesser representative than others could be or may want to be. And since I'd like to focus more on recreation and recreation programming, and I would like us to look at having a subcommittee that serves seniors in the community. I'd like to have a committee of that such, and I'd like to be on that committee. But as regards sustainability, fortunately, Commissioner Marmion has been there as an alternate. She's been showing up regularly for those meetings, and she's quite involved and represents well. And I think it would be best for me to drop out, and then the commission decide what they want to do. I was hesitant. I wanted to go to the commission myself and report that, to the committee itself and apologize, but since it's on our agenda, I feel I had to bring it up.
Okay.
If I could speak through the chair.
Yes.
With regards to the Sustainability Committee, as we've had this kind of odd situation where there's been 2 members of the Parks Commission.
Right.
So I think if it's Jamie's desire to no longer participate in that and just have Renee represent the commission, that's probably sufficient in terms of representation from the
Right.
commission.
Thank you.
Okay.
On the other point, I would like to see us have a subcommittee that considers specifically programs for seniors. I think it's a big issue, and I think we ought to take a look at that. And if nothing else, at least have a discussion about it.
Okay. So do you want that brought up for next meeting?
Yeah,
I would.
next meeting.
So-
Yes, I would. Thank you.
A senior sub. Because I don't know exactly what you want on that, because we do provide stuff for seniors.
Yeah, we do.
And,
Well, I'll be glad to bring some things in
Okay.
that we can, I can present them and as part of the packet, so we can take a look at them.
okay, is there anyone else that would,
I should
Madison,
be on it.
since you're new, is there anything else that
I mean,
you're really passionate about?
teen services. I'd love to be on that. But I could totally do that next year. It's not immediate. And I'm also interested in concerts in the park, but also not immediate. I mean, I think it's good for me since this is my first year to get my feet wet in a few subcommittees, and I don't necessarily need to, have 5, but those are things that I'm interested. But I like the ones that I'm on now, and I'd be fine remaining with those.
To that point, I think it would be very valuable to have you on teen services. We're working on the skate park right now, and probably should see that through, Renee and I. But after that, I think that would be great if
Yeah,
you
I'd be glad to, because I'm on like 7.
So can can membership on subcommittees switch around mid-year, or do you only make that decision like once for the rest of the year? Anytime?
Oh, once a year.
Yeah.
So if in a few months,
There's no.
Yeah, I didn't think
we've
so.
Can't be
changed the
changed.
mid-year. We have.
okay. So we can revisit that then in a few months. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, I'd be glad to give up my subcommittee meeting.
Okay.
We're having so many, I'm going to have to start asking for $25 a meeting.
That might break the bank.
Okay, we'll move on to new business, fire hydrant painting and the attachments.
Can I
Thanks,
just
Nancy.
ask one question
Thanks.
regarding
Yes.
to this? That is, so do you want to wait and further discuss the idea of the seniors subcommittee before you approve the new list, and still keep it tentative until you get to have further discussion on it? Or- I think they,
Can't we approve what we have and that we're adding one?
I think that-
Sure.
okay.
Yeah,
Do you need a motion?
I think we do, don't we usually?
Well, it probably doesn't hurt.
Okay, let's make a motion to approve the subcommittees as appointed to this date. Do we have a,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, new business, fire hydrant painting. And thank you so much for this attachment. It
Yeah,
brought
that was
back some
helpful.
memories. Because I was on that commission in 1998. So I know, yes, Madison, go ahead.
I just had some questions for clarification. So I read that in the criteria for the program, there were designated streets where painted fire hydrants could remain. And so I know of fire hydrants in existence that are still painted on other streets. So I don't know how we would feel about talking about standardizing those, because they're kind of looking shabby. So standardizing those by painting them over with the correct color that the fire department has suggested. You know, they're all the codes, class AA, A, whatever. And then how the commission feels about either refurbishing the ones that are in the allowed streets. So kind of updating them, refreshing them, painting them, while still leaving the caps the correct color, or if we want to remove all of those and put them in the preservation park. And if we want to remove the old ones that aren't on the designated streets, if we want to just paint over those, or if we want to move those to the preservation spot. So there's kind of like a lot of different things we can do. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that if there's a desire to move forward with this, or renew this program, I guess, the first thing I'd like to do is have the current fire administration take a look at this past report and the past designations and kind of refreshing that and make sure they're comfortable with where we've designated, and kind of clean up the program from there, and then we can, from there you'll know what you have to work with, and we can
Perfect.
go from there.
Great.
I'm just curious, when did we move some of the plugs to the preservation park?
I
Do
think we've done that over time.
Yeah, oh, when we just picked them up and then put
Yeah,
them?
I think as circumstances have warranted, maybe when they needed to be replaced or
Okay.
something. Yeah, I don't think there was ever kind of like a point in time where we said,
Okay.
okay, we're gonna move them all over there.
Okay. Because I know in the past we've talked about some of the other ones we're moving, it's kind of crowded over there now, and maybe putting some on
Corey Park.
Corey Park, the entrance there,
Yeah.
maybe putting some
Well, I
in.
think that's maybe a
Tur-
conversation.
Yeah.
You know, because I
Turtle Park. Yeah.
at one time I think we had maybe 7 or 8 there, and now I don't know how many.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's grown over the years.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we can revisit this once we have a better idea of how
We'll
the
have fire department
Yeah.
take a
Fire
review of
department
it,
feels-
and then get back to the report back to the commission, and then we can go from
Okay.
there.
perfect.
Okay, that sound good? Any other comments from anyone on it?
No, that sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. Okay, reports, chairperson. I don't have anything to report at this time. And so we'll go on to subcommittees. Anybody want to start? I know we met for the skate park, and in fact, we're having a meeting Thursday. I see I have a sustainability one too. And we're coming back with 4. What do you want to? I'll let you.
You want me to
Yes.
give the update? Okay. I don't know if this is working. It doesn't sound like. Is it working? So we met a few weeks ago, and with a joint subcommittee with facilities from City Council, and we looked at 4 proposals that were sent in response to our RFP for a skate park design, and they were very interesting and different. And right now, all the committee members are taking a look at them and kind of rating them for different criteria. And we're going to come back with our recommendations on Thursday. and meet again and come up with our top 2. And at that point, then we'll bring them in for interviews and go from there. But it's looking good. I was very happy with
Yeah, and then Karen responded with other information.
on engineering.
Yeah, that was really good. So yes, that the next subcommittee for the skate park is tomorrow.
That's right.
And what time is that? For some
3:30.
reason, it's in here on mine at 1 o'clock. I don't know why it's in there. And then Bonnie and I, we met for
Day in the park.
Day in the Park, and we kind of set up, and we don't really want to say, we might have a little
Surprise.
change of a little couple of events. Most of the stuff will
Yeah.
remain the same, but we're going to kind of mix it up, and we want to just get that locked in first. It'll be quite exciting.
I like a mix-up.
What?
I like a mix-up.
And I don't know, I haven't heard back from Russ of anything yet.
No.
So I'll talk to him and find out what he found out. Request. You okay? Want to drink of water?
I had bronchitis.
Oh.
Getting over it.
Any other subcommittees met?
You and I met for Marina
That's right.
and Trails
Thank you.
combo, and walked the marina and identified some areas that could possibly be candidates for weed abatement, especially. And we should put together a official proposal, and send it to the city. And perhaps we should schedule another meeting when it's time to do that, where we start working with our staff person in identifying some ideas for a trails development plan.
Yeah. All right. I kind of forgot we met. I just came back from New York. I'm kind of tired.
I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
Just look at the
Sorry, Madison has to leave for an appointment.
I will. Although I just got a call, so it could be canceled. So I may pop back in.
Okay.
But I think I have to.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thanks. And is there any other scheduled subcommittee
Not that I know
this
of.
month going? Okay. Well, does anybody want to set a subcommittee meeting?
Renee, you and I should probably set trails. We can do that
Okay.
another time, 2 of us.
And I don't know what's happening with the teens, after they did that survey, and we just never got a report back Steve reported back to us, but, with the kids, it just kind of then got dropped again.
It's true.
And I don't know what's going on. And somebody said something, are they going to redo the yak? There's just some questions. I just wondered where we are in the mix of all.
Renee, why don't we meet with Steve about that after our 3:30 meeting tomorrow?
Oh,
I can
well,
send him a note.
I don't think
You have
we
another
can. We have to.
Steve's out
Oh, he's out?
at the moment, so.
Okay.
Howard, I can give you a little bit of update
Okay.
with regards to where the council is on the teen programming. The council's 2x2 committee that meets with the school district, Brisbane School District's 2x2 group, met within the last month, and we asked the school district to put together a proposal for us for a similar sort of relationship that we've had over the years with Jefferson High School District, where we provide certain amount of dollars to Jefferson High School District, and they provide certain services for at the high school level. We asked them to put together a proposal around teen programming that would be related to Lippman programs and after school, obviously. And they're in the process of doing that, and they'll be bringing that back or sending that into the city probably within the next month or so.
Okay.
And I suspect that will get routed back through you folks, and then it'll go
Council.
to the council for
Right in time,
consideration.
Okay. Well, then we should wait on that because there's really only 17 days left of school and they probably haven't,
Yeah, she said,
figured out.
Tony
Yeah.
sent me a note the other day
Yeah.
that they're working on it, but they're
Yeah.
busy with other stuff. too,
So maybe by late.
So. Let's add something.
Just on that same subject, I want to let you know that Steve has reopened the applications for the YAC.
Okay.
And that is posted online, so we'll see if we can create some new interest in that.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
My daughter.
Okay. So maybe in August or something, maybe we should meet before school starts again and
That's
just.
a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be August. Anybody else setting subcommittee meetings?
I'm feeling that, Bonnie, that we should probably meet regarding public art.
It's been a while, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably just to get an update.
Yes,
As
uh-huh.
far as where we are. I don't know if planning was able to take a look at the ordinance yet, or if that's even gone to them, so.
If the council acted on it, or,
Well, the council did review what had been sent up to them. I think where we had left it was that staff was looking at some grants to kind of facilitate a public process around that. And I think there are some questions in terms of implementation of the ordinance itself. We don't really have anything that is pending that would potentially bring us revenue, so we have time to work on this. But I think the committee that came together, which Kevin had been part of, and realize he's no longer part of your committee, but he was at that time, really kind of focused on trying to create a public process around the whole public arts thing, so there was an education, people understood what it was and what the value of it was and what it was for. So that's kind of where it stands right now. Caroline was looking into some potential grants on that, and I'll have to get back to you on the status of that.
Okay.
so we shouldn't meet until,
Let me get the status on that part of it, and I can shoot you out an email and
Okay.
go from there.
Is all your renovation of your community center completed? Do you need to meet anymore with any of that?
The park has been officially opened
Yeah.
with a ceremony recently, and we're looking at refinishing. We'll be refinishing the floors in the summer. Taking
And it
advantage
needs
of
to be
that because
painted
it wasn't
again.
actually refinished properly or enough, as far as the coating on it. It needs to be the basketball finish. So they're going to do that in the summer, and then we were looking at having them do some more touch-up painting or even repainting because the walls do look
Horrible.
quite battered. So we should probably continue to press for that. And I think we're also still looking at window covering.
That's what I was going to say, isn't window coverings in there too?
So we should meet.
Yes, probably,
So meet with Russ
Yeah.
during the month.
yeah.
So we can
Take
set
some
that up.
comfort that that's in the proposed budget.
Oh, it's in the proposed budget.
Proposed budget, they'll be before the council.
The window coverings?
The window coverings and the painting,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, good.
as well as the rail, walking
Railing.
rail in
Yes.
the back of the park.
Yes, yes.
Or in the
okay.
park.
And excuse me, through the chair, please. I hear from citizens often that they try to hear this and they can't hear the commission meeting over the television. Then when they come in for a DVD of it, there's no volume on it. And so I'm going to ask, I'm having a hard time hearing you myself, Clay, and
Okay.
I want to know that we've addressed that.
We have been checking the monitors, and they're set to where they're supposed to be, so if it's a bigger issue with the overall system, we might have to call it, bring in.
I'm wondering, I know this has been talked about once before, but these commission meetings,
Discs sound fine, because I always listen to the disc, but I know that the recording that goes out is not the same as the disc.
Yeah.
So there may be an issue.
I mean, I've tried to listen to it on the television and no volume at all. Then I've checked the other televisions and called people in town and said, no, there's no volume. So I'm just saying that since I was having trouble hearing you personally, that I thought maybe there's something, we just make a point of this, that
I'll
so
make-
many of the things that you've said are important to the people.
Okay.
And I should want that on record.
Yeah, I'll make a special effort to speak into
Thank
the
you.
microphone. I know we have had some issues with the sound quality that goes out over the television. We've recently spent some money and had technicians in here to try to fix that, so hopefully that's much better. Interestingly enough, the sound quality over the television versus the sound quality that you might get over the internet are two totally different things. So if you watch it over the internet, it's completely fine and you hear it, and if you watch it over the television, we've had some problems. But like I said, I believe we've corrected those, and if not, then I'm sure we'll hear from somebody and we'll continue to work on it.
Thank you.
Okay. So just so I have an understanding, so the trail, the subcommittees that want to meet are the trails development, the renovation and community center,
Arts.
public art.
Well, I don't know if community center and public art need to meet. It sounds like we're still waiting for information.
Okay.
For the
Right,
budget.
at least
Okay.
for public art. Community center, if we already have the request to council for budget request for the rail, paint, and floor, not floor, because that's already been approved.
Yeah,
Rail, paint,
Okay.
what was the third? Window coverings.
window
So
covering,
you don't want to meet
Maybe
then?
we don't need to meet
Okay.
until we find out.
more
Okay.
about it.
About the money.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll verify those. I mean, I know everything's in the budget,
Okay,
and so it's really just a matter of the council acting on it in June.
okay.
So then it'll just be the trails and the public art.
Public art, we're going to wait.
Okay, public art,
Okay,
you're
get
going to,
back to
okay,
us
so it's
about
just the trails?
Grants. Mm-hmm,
Ms. Strauss, okay. I also, the Habitat Restoration Day, aren't we doing Quarry Road, is it, or did we already do that? Or Crocker Park? Aren't we combining, there was something that went out?
They're going to have another one in June,
Yes,
and that will be the quarry, I think,
okay.
Quarry Road.
Because I thought there was something with, that I got a flyer, maybe that the open space, ecology, and park and rec, and...
It was one of the canyons.
No, I'm talking about I thought it was Quarry Road. Is it Quarry Road? It was a big cleanup day.
Yeah,
And the-
there was one that's always around Earth Day in April.
And they had that already.
Did we do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
had that last month.
Pardon me. I just, that's when I was probably out of town. Would anybody attend?
I didn't.
Okay.
Through the chair, also, usually in the first Saturday of June is when the dog park cleanup is done by the dog park
Okay.
people. And even though I haven't seen the sign up yet, Ted has been out of town. He lost his dog,
Oh,
Hatter, and he's been working out of town, so
okay.
I don't know if someone else will put the sign up, but it's usually the first Saturday of June.
Okay. Well, we'll,
And it's all volunteer.
okay.
Anybody
Seems
wants to
like
go-
this is the 21st of June, if I remember right.
Okay.
Did they schedule it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, very, very well, thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll carry on. Okay, commissioners, therapeutic use of the community pool. Consider other options, pool walking.
Well,
What's going on?
I brought this up, I've brought it up for 2 years, because I think that is the therapeutic use of the pool. We have had aquatic exercise, et cetera, but we're missing a significant group, and it is a group that absolutely needs to be in the pool. And I'm not going to be delicate about it. I think that if I do, it might get passed over again or minimized. So I'll be as clear as I can. There are people that do not like to be in the locker rooms undressing in the presence of young people, children, or others because of their weight, because of their size. They're very uncomfortable, and they would absolutely love to be able to come to the pool and be in the pool and exercise with people who understand their situation. And it is incumbent upon this community in being considerate of the health of everyone who lives here to not negate their need and to not ignore it. And I think that we, by saying, well, let's put this group over in this part of the pool and this group over in this part of the pool and then this group, we absolutely, again, sort of shadow that real need they have, and we have to be honest about it. I was going to have people, invite people to come tonight, remind them, because it's something I've been talking to people about. And then I thought maybe I would talk to you first about it and see if they'd like to come to a committee meeting, a subcommittee meeting, rather than to a commission meeting and be televised, and just express to you the situation that they find themselves in. So, for example, when you have lap swimmers and they are intersecting with people who need to do pool walking, and pool walking is done from side to side, not lengthwise, and it's done graduated by your height. So taller people can walk in deeper water, not over their head, but side to side of the pool. And so this is what they would do in the CPMC pool, for example. If you go to physical therapy, aquatics programs, and they're for people with knees, hips, legs, issues or surgeries, that's how they're using the pool. And if we have anyone else in there at that time, we take away from that opportunity. I really think this is possible, and I really think we'll get a good group. And I've talked to some of the people who are presently going to the pool, and they try to take a lane when there are lap swimmers there, and there may be 4 of them walking in one lane, crossing in and out of each other, and they really should have the opportunity to really have the use of the pool as much as anyone else. So I'm asking that we are very serious about focusing on this group, not in a lead exercise format, because there are people who will not do exercises that are led by someone else.
You just want it just for walking, just walking, period.
Just walking, or they can choose. For example, if someone's walking across the pool and they want to swim back and forth, they can. But anyone who wants to just walk back and forth, but the use of the locker room is a big part of this. And I think we just have to be honest about it.
But you have that. We have swimming down there with the teens. We run into the same problem. I mean, they don't even want to change amongst themselves.
Uh-huh.
And there's nothing we can really do about that. We don't have individual dressing rooms. Our facility doesn't, have the room for that individual. It's got, and any other locker room that I've seen in a swimming pool really doesn't have that. They have individual stalls for showers, and some of them even just have communal showers too. Our facility is just not built like that. So I think that's kind of an individual thing that I don't know how you could
easily, just by dedicating a 40-minute period to just a group of people who want to walk. And I guarantee you, we will have people in that pool who want to do that.
Jimmy, just for clarity, so we addressed this in the program subcommittee, and because it was something that you strongly believed in. Unfortunately, you weren't able to be there, so we didn't hear the importance of a dedicated time. And I believe that we worked out a time in the summer, a trial, where we're going to have this special time set aside at the end of the day, thinking that that was a light time. And does that feel not satisfactory to you? Do you want to reopen that topic within the program subcommittee?
No, thank you. What I was told is that it was going to be joined with swimming classes, et cetera, at the same time. Am I wrong at that?
It was going to be put at the very end of the day when there's very, very little usage, and so I think we've covered it, and I think we'll do it as a trial, and we'll see how it goes.
No, that's great. That would work, and I appreciate that. And what I had heard was that it was set up in such a way so there were 3 different things going on at the same time, and I thought,
no,
we're going to defeat this. But thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens during that trial, and I think it might address some of your interests and concerns.
Do we have dates or times?
I believe that Steve has that set up. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about getting it out in the Star, getting the information out, and advertising it well, so that people can really give it a try in the summer when it's warm.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
That's excellent.
I think it's okay. On to staff.
I'm sorry, may I address another issue? The basketball courts.
Oh, wait, that was on just the pool.
All right.
Okay, so, you know, if you had anything more to say about the pool,
I think we're good.
No, just one thing. We've been interviewing students for Lions Club scholarships, and it's amazing how many of the students who come through our interviews have worked in our pool. And as funny as it can be, we also have somebody who's worked in the pool for many, many years writing letters of recommendation for the others because of her expertise now in the world. But these are really top-notch students, and so many of them have worked for the city and have worked in the pool, and many of them for as many as 7, 8, 9 years. So it's a good group up there, most likely, because they're turning up as scholars as well.
okay, on to staff programs report.
I'm sorry, can we go back to commissioners?
Wait, Nancy was,
No, there's really nothing to report. It's just the summer camp and
Okay.
the things that I've mentioned several. There's nothing really new on the horizon, with the one slight exception that we have brought back the Zumba class. It's a little different format, different teacher, but it's back. But other than that, we're really getting busy with all the summer programs.
and what time is that Zumba class?
It started on 19th.
6:30.
5:30.
I don't have that.
6:30 to 7:30 is what it said on the board.
6:30 to 7:30, and it started last night, and we actually got the money in the.
About 7.
There's about 8 people that
Oh.
went last night for the first night, so
Oh, great,
it seemed to go well.
thank you.
Good.
Okay, goals
Chair?
workshop.
The chair,
Yes,
I keep trying to add to commissioners. There were other issues that I wanted to bring up under commissioners.
well, why don't I come down to commission matters, and then we'll,
But these aren't written commissions. These are just commissioners' issues under C, under reports. Do you want them? Do you want them someplace else?
I'll just,
Doesn't matter.
let's just do commission matters.
All right.
Matters, commission matters.
Thank you.
Okay. Goals workshop.
Do we have a location for that?
I think we're going to do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to.
We're going to do it here?
In this room. What we'll do is like we did for the city councils, we'll set up tables in the middle of the room so that you can kind of more informal.
Okay.
Seem to work well
Thank
with
you.
the council. A couple of issues with regards to the goals workshop. So you may recall when the council liaison was here, there was a request to the commission to come forward with an annual report. So at the goals workshop, we'll try to address that issue a little bit. I'll have kind of your statistical report of all your programs. I think that there's a desire on the council's part to hear from the commission on gaps in service that you may perceive. I think, Jamie, you've addressed some of that with regards to the pool and perhaps senior programming. But wherever the commission may think that there are gaps, or maybe the strengths in the programs also, so there'd be a narrative that would go along with the statistical report. The other thing with regards to the goals workshop, if I could, I would like to have a pre-meeting with the chair and the vice chair to kind of set the day up and kind of work through what format we want to do for the day. That's kind of a process that's worked well, I know, at the council level. So if that works for you, I'll have Wendy in my office set up a time for us to get together.
Okay.
That sounds good.
And then one other item that I don't know fits on the agenda anywhere particular, but I thought you'd be interested, is that this weekend, you may recall the city council last year budgeted some dollars for public service aides. These will be people who will be working in the park, community park, for about 6-7 hours on Saturday and Sunday, and their role will be to work with park patrons and people in the park in terms of the various rules and stuff, dogs off leash, any issues that might come up in the the kids area, checking permits on the use of the benches, or not benches, but the
Equipment, parties.
yeah, picnic areas. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that will start this weekend. They will have a patch on them so they'll be recognizable. They'll wear khaki pants, and they will be reporting on a real-time basis to the police sergeant, but they're not police officers, so I want to make clear that that's not their role, but they have immediate supervision available during the hours they're there. This program will be in place basically from Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend up through probably September, maybe into October, or a little bit depending on the weather, and we'll see how it goes.
That's wonderful.
Good.
Interesting.
So they won't be writing citations, or they will?
I
Possibly.
don't think I don't think our anticipation
Okay.
is that they're writing citations, but they have access to the police department if something comes up. It's really more to kind of work with the people who are in the park, and
Okay.
and we'll see how busy they are, and just how well this goes. It's kind of an experimental program.
And the city council approved funds for that?
Yes, in this year's budget.
Can I just ask how much was those funds?
You may ask, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I can get that number.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
So then those could be people that would monitor, like if piñatas were hung or people were climbing on the wrong trees, or if we talked about stakes holding down jumpy houses, and those would be the people that would kind of make sure that those rules were being followed.
Yeah,
And
any of the
probably the
park.
garbage too.
So we would have a foreseeable way to kind of enforce any new rules that we added. Okay,
More so than in the past.
got it.
Good.
Okay, interesting.
Good. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, commission matters. Jamie?
Yes, thank you. The basketball courts is something that I see every single day as I drive by, and the retractable ones, the ones that can be lowered, are being damaged all the time because inevitably the kids are hanging on them and they pull them by the net. And I actually got out of the car, went over one day and just stood next to one. I was 5'3". I'm probably like 5'1" now, but when I reach up, I mean, I can put my hand over the rim. So that's how low they are. Now, people say, well, that's what kids will do. But I've seen kids sitting in the basket. That thing comes down, and that kid gets hurt. We have a terrible liability for allowing it by setting it up in such a way. I've also called over here to report that there are 25, at one occasion 24 kids trying to play on one court because the other court had the basket lowered on one side and lower, the second side was the same short court, was even lower, and these 6-foot kids couldn't play on it. And I think that we've done everything we can to provide small areas for small children, and we don't have this facility for the larger kids, the big kids that play there, and they play there at night, and they play there later in the day. Is that a problem? I'm sorry, I saw that. No, sorry, thank you. I want you to know that I see it every day. I watch it every day. I'm very concerned about it. I'm afraid we're going to have a very serious accident. I'm sure that those rims are bent because the bigger kids are going to hang on them anyway. And the smaller kids, you might have 1 or 2 a week over there with a parent at the very most. I would say 1 a week if I see that one. It'll be on a weekend. But for the rest of the week, every single day and all night, and they play till sometimes midnight, they're playing 20, 25 of them on one short court because they're not a full-length court. And first of all, if we're going to teach a sport, for example, or allow the use for a sport like tennis, for example, they're using a tennis court. The net is as high as it's going to be on any tennis court. It's regulation, and a child will learn to play tennis correctly. They'll understand the height of the net. When you lower that basket, they don't learn muscle memory. They don't learn how to shoot a basket. Besides which, a 3.5-foot child shouldn't be in there with kids the bigger size running back and forth at the speed they are. It's just not safe. So I'm advocating strongly for us to get those rims up to the regulation size, 10 feet, and leave them there. And lock them so that they can't be brought down, because first of all, we're going to save a lot of money by the kids not bending them, breaking them, and we having to replace them. Secondly, we're going to provide space for all of them to play. It's a safer environment. And thirdly, we're not going to have the liability of some child getting hurt by climbing up, as I have seen them sitting in the rim of the basket as I drive by. If that basket, and basket can come down, and we'll have a terrible accident. So I would like that to be part of facilities. I would like us to take a very serious look at that. In the meantime, in order to protect us, protect our liability, get them raised up, locked, and then they're fixed, and we don't have to worry about that. And anybody who wants to have a low basket for their child, they can buy one at Costco, and they can set it up in the driveway. It's plastic, that's all they need, because that's the same height as they're going to put it up over there for one child a week, when we're going to have 10 kids at least every night that can't play. And what they're doing when they're not playing is sitting on the bench. And when they're sitting on the bench, there's other stuff going on. And I've seen meetings happening over there lately that I'm a little wary of. So we keep them active and let them run, let them have the full use of 2 courts. We're going to have a very, very useful facility. Right now, I'm worried.
I have a question. So are the smaller ones that you're talking about, are they adjustable?
Yes.
So we can adjust them up, yes?
They're the correct height, yes.
So how come everyone's playing in one little area when can't they theoretically adjust up the smaller ones so that they can make use of the whole court?
They're difficult, and they're difficult to raise up and down. They don't slide up easily.
Okay.
And I think if they're put up and locked, we never have that problem.
So they're meant to be able to service kids or players of a taller size, but their poor design is making it so that only very small children can use that half of the court. Is that what you're saying?
Use one full court. There are 2 courts.
Yeah, so these 2 are smaller and these 2 are higher, but these should be able to.
They should all be at 10 feet.
And the other ones are adjustable to come down, and those have just happened to stay up?
No, one set is stationary.
Got it.
The other
Okay.
set is ratcheted. And if we get it back up to 10 feet and lock it, it's going to be over. We won't have that worry. We won't have them hanging on it. We won't have them breaking. And we're going to really cut our liability. Since we know that's happening, and I see it, and I've reported it several times now, I think we really have to be careful. And I think this, since we're really hitting the stride of people being out of school, giving them 2 courts to play on is going to make a big difference to that age group.
As someone who takes kids to that specific court, the draw for them is hanging on the rim.
I know.
And I'm always there like, don't do that! So I know from my personal experience, just to support what you're saying, is that I see a lot more hanging than I do playing, and just to get that feel of like being, an NBA star. That's what they're totally using it like a jungle gym that I've seen. I'm sure that, there'll probably be community members that are disappointed if we adjust the height, but I do know that I see a lot of younger kids. And, I mean, for them, it's still short, where they can, if like a 3-foot child can jump up and hang on there, then that's definitely way too short.
We have the 4-foot, 5-foot kids that just think it's a thrill. We'll get a 5'10" kid standing there feeling terrific because he can dunk. He hasn't learned anything.
Yeah.
And
well, I've seen that.
But I'm very worried about the ones I've seen climbing up on top of it and sitting in the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Clay, what do you suggest?
Well, I've listening to the conversation. I'll talk to the Public Works Department and take a look at it.
Okay.
From a liability standpoint, frankly, unless something's damaged, excuse me, and we have constructive notice of that, there really isn't liability. So I'm not overly concerned about that aspect of it. It's really more a matter of what what sort of facility we want to provide.
Okay.
But let me have Public Works Department take a look at it, and I can report back to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
One other thing about basketball courts, they really get cluttered with a lot of litter. Do they ever get cleaned? Do we ever have the city go through there, or can we set up some system whereby we go through and?
We do some level of maintenance there,
Okay.
but it's probably not, I mean, I do understand that there's a lot of use to it, and so there's probably a lot of litter that happens from time to time. I'll check on that aspect.
Thank you.
too.
Okay, and written communications. I did receive a letter from a Brisbane resident about tennis classes. And it was addressed, and we do, I'm sure you guys all got the letter, wanting to know if we offered tennis classes to,
For adults.
in our program.
The question then was for adults.
Yeah. And a lot of it was already addressed. Clay did address this, and it's in the Star. So we do have tennis classes. We've had them in our recreation programs for quite a while. In fact, the Lippman School does use the tennis courts during PE time. And nobody else can use those courts when we are in session there. But afterwards, and then there are a lot of other people that come down there. So I just wanted to address that.
May I ask, are there tennis courts for adults? I'm sorry, tennis classes for adults? There are.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Currently have 6 enrolled in our adult classes, our adult beginner class, and I've taken the lessons myself a couple times over the last year. So, yeah, we do. Define.
Great.
And
Great instructor.
And we do have tennis courts up at Mission Blue, and when I'm up there for baseball games, they're used a lot too. So just wanted to address that.
Thank you.
That's the only written communications I have. Does anybody else have anything?
And may I just comment on both of the communications that we mentioned tonight? Please make sure I get a copy or email me a copy of anything we discuss so I can have it for the official packet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. The commission calendar. Our next meeting will be June 18th. Nancy will not be there. Everybody, I don't know if you've met, it's Tricia
That's true.
Vaccaro. She's going to be our new
Welcome.
Park and Rec administrator.
We sit here and say, welcome.
I know, I'm saying that too.
So, what are we having on the calendar?
Don't worry, Tricia.
Well, should we just throw her into it, Nancy?
Sure. Well, we're going to have the fire hydrant painting. Readdress whether we're going to have the senior, whether there should be a senior subcommittee.
Okay.
And I know this is some reports that are coming back. And
Yes, subcommittees.
a couple of, let's see, trails and...
Well, the skate park, we're meeting on the skate park, and
Okay,
the
sure.
sustainability will be meeting. Those subcommittees are already,
I don't think we have, I don't know
scheduled.
of anything new offhand.
What about
You will
the-
obviously be reporting on your goals workshop.
yes,
The stakes in the ground. Are we talking about that again?
Oh, yes. That's right.
yeah.
We're going to
And then we'll
back-
be reporting on our goals workshop. And I'm not going to adjourn the meeting yet, because this commission here would like to thank Nancy for all her dedication for the last 17,
15 years out.
15 years.
This department.
and helping us with everything that you've done and
Well,
and
you're very
each one of
welcome.
our
It's been a
meetings.
pleasure to serve with all the commissioners, and this has been a very, very great group. I mean, I've just enjoyed it so much. Sometimes I get nervous about the recordings and what have you, but
Happens.
you know, I do enjoy
So
listening.
come on down so we can hand this to you. Yeah. Give us a hug.
Chairman Marmion, can we ask her to come up behind here?
Oh, yeah, behind
People on
us.
television will see who she, no, come up.
He can tell us if he can hear us.
No, we just got a report from Stuart if the sound's fine.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you. Honey, I'm coming home. Have me on Wednesday night.
Yes, her last meeting with this commission.
Thank you, guys. Oh, this is lovely on mine.
Would you like to open it?
Yes, yes. Oh, good, it needs an explanation, okay. Oh, it's so pretty.
Not truly, but maybe.
Okay, all right, all right. Oh, I love this beautiful bow here.
I figure she'll get her 15 minutes of fame now.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Oh, just on top.
I don't think there's any way we really can say thank you to someone who's done this much work so well.
Some scissors.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. Okay, okay. Pull this out. Oh, a husband. This looks so fun. Jamie, thank you for helping me here. Okay.
You're such a good rapper.
Somebody likes purple. Oh my, and wrapping upon wrapping and goodness and oh my and
City of the Stars.
oh how
So
lovely.
this is, and there's a description on the back. This is a day in the park,
Oh, isn't
and this
that
represents
beautiful?
a photo of the day in the park with the different services. And this was Park and Rec.
This is darling. I love it.
That's
Well, what
cute.
a great memory of my time here at the city and with this commissioner. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank
Aw.
you, thank you,
Thank you so
much. And a card.
I miss you very much.
Oh, you.
We'll miss you.
I know.
And so now I will say the meeting is adjourned at 7:27.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're so good at hitting that mallet.
She loves it.
Forceful. Great.
And I wasn't sure if this was something.
Abby might think I canceled, then I can stay.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Let me help you too. I'm keeping the bow on here.
Good idea.